I want to talk about fasting, intentional fasting, and like why I feel like it's important sometimes. Well, for me, why it's important. For one, it's somewhat of a detox. So sometimes we have these things that help us along in our journey. We all know we got like little addictions. Sometimes we may not be aware of them, but like mine, I know mindless scrolling. Sometimes I get addicted to that. Sometimes like spiritual influencers, I'm addicted to that. I get sucked into the consumerism. I binge eat like fruit snacks sometimes. Like when I get emotionally stressed or something, I do stress eat or emotional eat. What else are a couple of my addictions? Working, like overworking sometimes, like just being a busybody, not being able to just chill and relax. I do that sometimes, but sometimes that can be healthy. Like, say your anxiety is getting wild and you want to clean, that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, when it gets to the point where you're not even listening to your body when it's saying rest, like, and you just go, 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 you can't sit still, you can't stop. That's a little bit different. That's more of, that overworking mentality, and that can be detrimental to your wellness. But so fasting to me is kind of like a moment to recenter, get back to homeostasis, which is that balance within your whole body. Just trying to be calm, get back to that inner peace and also fasting helps you look at, dang, it makes you see when you're in a state of stress or distress, and it allows you to find a healthier alternative, not another addiction, but like something. It gives you a opportunity to make a choice to go back to something that's a coping mechanism, not really solving the problem, or actually reflecting on how you're feeling, actually allowing yourself to feel the emotions you're feeling. Because sometimes I get stressed and I'm like, when I'm fasting, I was doing like a 3-day fast of no meat, no candy, and no mindless scrolling or whatever, just posting and getting off. And so in that, I would notice like moments where I would feel stressed or like bored or something, I would just go eat. I'm like, am I even really hungry? Am I even really like, I'm just wanting something to do. And I'm like, sometimes I feel like we are so stuck in this age where it's just do, like consumer, capital, like this society we're in where it's all about consuming things, that we get taken over with that. And that's like those times where you need to find a place where you can ground, where you can like center, like go camping, go to the park, go meditate, go spend time with family. Just do something that centers you, that calms you, that allows you to quiet all of the distractions, all of the noise. Because when you have too much going on, you cannot hear your own voice. You cannot hear your spirit. You cannot hear your inner voice. You cannot hear what really moves you, what really makes you happy. You're doing too many things that you're allowing people to mold you. You're allowing things to lead you. You're allowing things to manipulate you. Like, it's not them. It's not the thing. It's your mind grasping onto something that gives it comfort, instead of, sometimes comfort isn't always good. And you need to realize, like, and be able to recognize what is good for you and what isn't good for you. And that also kind of leads into, so with the intentional fasting, it goes along with just intentions in general. Whenever you're starting a journey of, healing and trying to make your life a better place for you to be, like your reality, you want to get true with your intentions. You want to establish pure, honest intentions. Don't try to play. You can't lie to God. Like, don't try to play the system now. We all have manipulative ways because of how we have been conditioned to get things. This fear of rejection kind of makes us ask for stuff in passive ways. Like, hey, I'm going to let you do this for me. If you want to do this, can you do? No, like, just ask people, like, it's either yes or no. Rejection is not as bad as it seems. It's not nothing to take personal. Like, release that fear. Get clear with your intentions. I like to visualize, speak, and write down my intentions. So ask yourself, just really, what do you want in life? What do you want your future to look like? What do you want your life to look like? And write those down. Speak them out. I like to close my eyes and visualize it. You know what I'm saying? Like, as I'm speaking it, I'll visualize it. I'll write it down later. But like, as I'm visualizing it, I'm speaking it. So I'm like, you know, I can see myself. I'm on this vacation. I'm in the recliner. I got my little pina colada. I hear the ocean, the waves rustling. You know, I got my man by my side. My son's up here. He's playing in the sand. You know, we wearing this, you know, just to get detailed. Like, really visualize that. I call it like, I don't know. I don't really have a name for it, but it's just like manifesting with the visuals, you know, just dictating and narrating it, that putting that vibration when you speaking it into the universe, you bringing that energy. And then to me, speaking it while I'm visualizing it gives me the feeling. That feeling taps into that sacral chakra, which is all about creation. That's all part of the manifesting process. So it's like you're connecting it all. You're connecting the throat chakra. That's as you move up through the chakras, like from the root to the crown, you're creating your reality. So you want to establish a sound foundation. You want to work your way from the bottom up. A lot of times we have been jumping around and we start from the top and to the bottom. Like, we really need to get clear that you need a sturdy foundation and, you know, figure out what things bring you joy. Focus on that. Focus on the positive, not the negative, because whatever your focus is on is what you're going to attract. If you're focused on your fears and your anxieties and too much stressing about the past or the future, that's what you're going to continue to be engulfed in. You want to focus on, if you're thinking about the future, think about the dreams of the future, not the fears of the future. Think about the beautiful vision, you know, giving yourself grace, so knowing that things come in divine time, not being impatient, surrendering, you know, having your vision, holding that vision, but not being attached to it, not having certain expectations. You know, like another woman I follow, like she says, give God room to work. Don't be so rigid on what it got to be or so attached to it. It got to look like this. No, give it a little room to be what you really need, even if it doesn't look like what you thought you wanted. You know what I'm saying? So just getting clear with your intentions. And don't do stuff just because you think this is what you should be doing to get what you want. Because for a while, I was feeling like I really was losing myself because I was doing things to have a certain look, because I was judging where I was in my journey. And I put too much on myself. I wanted to heal too much at once. And I wanted to change so much at once. And I couldn't take it step by step. And I wasn't giving myself grace, even though I was telling myself that. It's like I was really lying to myself, you know. I wanted so much so fast, so quick. And I wanted to be on, you know, this certain hierarchy or this level. I want to be on a level with them people, or they're so spiritual. I'm not spiritual because I'm a little bit too quirky or too weird or too ghetto or too this. And it's like so much we want to judge ourselves and think we're not good enough to be in the club. You got to remind yourself a lot. Remind yourself that you don't have to join anybody's club. You create your own club. When you be careful who you allow into your reality and who you invite yourself, like whose reality you invite yourself to. Because it's like you are who you surround yourself with. I mean, in a sense, if you're not strong enough, you don't have that sturdy foundation in knowing who you are. So it's like, remember also what you consume can become your reality. You know, information is not all fact. What you allow in your mind, in your system, in your energy, in your reality can become your reality if you are not strong in who you are. All this information is being programmed in your subconscious. As you're reprogramming, you don't want to just reprogram to program again. Like, you want to just keep a sturdy, sound foundation. Work on yourself first. Work on that foundation. Work on that family. Work on that sense of self. When you have a strong sense of self, then maybe you can tap into a little bit more information, a little bit more, but always going into it with some intentions that you're not trying to be influenced. You're just trying to open the way for to figure out what your own spirit, what your own soul wants you to know. Because a lot of times we're not really being intentional with stuff, and we're just consuming mindlessly. You're getting back into a sleep state. You're not really being consciously living. Like me, what I say is not an end all be all. This is coming from my personal perspective. I will never preach that I know this and this is the right way and this is the wrong way, because there's a lot of ways and methods to everything. It's all about what works for you. What is making you happy? There's rarely facts. It's mostly opinions, personal truths, theories, beliefs, personal beliefs. There's no right or wrong, should and shouldn't, no matter what nobody say. No matter what your family say, no matter what your friends say, if they can't accept you for who you are, who you're becoming, even if it's making, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's making you feel good, that's what you need to follow. But really ask yourself, what's making you feel good? Because you don't want to get caught up in this, spiritual manipulation and allowing different vessels and different channels of information to deter you from what you really wanted from the beginning. I ask that before you start your journey, you make a list so that something you can go back to, because you may fall off, you may get lost in the sauce. Go back to that list and remember what you said you wanted in the beginning, so that you don't forget what your motives were, what your goal was, because it's easy out here that a lot of spiritual people who are saying they're spiritual, are manipulating people based on their awakening journey, and knowing that different spirits and different energies can arise in them, and that's part of the activism, is that be aware and be mindful of the manipulation that can happen. Stay true to who you are and what has been working for you. Now, if something isn't working, then obviously it's okay to try and be free to have trial and error. That's okay. That's part of life. That's what life is about. It's about learning lessons and going through the motions, and, allowing yourself to fall sometimes, or allowing yourself to trip. Pick yourself back up. That's okay. But yeah, so write out those pure intentions, what you really want, the things that, and focus on, and start off with what's right now, what's already at this moment, what makes you happy. Like, I got my little list, food, my family, my faith, dancing, traveling, going on vacations. Those are things that bring me joy. So those are things that I'm focusing on at the moment, and then that can grow, and harnessing on, for me, what I harness on is God's love, light, and positivity. I feel like that energy alone is going to align me with everything else that I need. And so just keeping those kind of basic foundations. Don't lose sight of the foundation with all this extra rigmarole. All you're trying to do right now is lay down the foundation and build your toolbox with tools that'll help you when you need them, so that you can retrieve them when you need them. And that's all I want to say. So this, podcast, like I said, is about intentional fasting, to kind of understand yourself a lot, and establishing pure intentions. So as always, guys, someone who cares, a spiritual activist. Peace, love, light, and healing energies. Be open to receiving it. Peace out. Love you guys. So as we collectively awaken, I feel like, because it's kind of like a mass awakening, I kind of feel like a lot of us are on the same wave. Like, I actually can pinpoint when at one point I feel like the divine feminine energy was awakening, and a lot of women were uprising, and but with that, you have to understand as well, not to take it and run with it, and to not let someone manipulate that because they know what's coming. Some people can see what is awakening before other people, and they can manipulate that and manipulate you based on that fragility that you're into, as that energy is awakening within you. So like right now, I feel like what's awakening is, as the ego and the mental constructs start to crumble, different things about how the ego has formed are coming out. And I know distrust and the demonization of spirituality, I feel like it's coming to head right now. And that's kind of what's awakening in a lot of people. And I know that we do see the manipulation, but I don't want this to fuel that distrust, fuel that lack of faith, fuel that lack of what am I looking for? The words, the paranoia. I don't want it to fuel those things, because it's like, yeah, be stay ready so you don't got to get ready, and be precautious, but not to the point where it causes you anxiety, not to the point where it causes you fear, because anything that causes fear and anxiety is detrimental and is not something you should harbor on to. So if feeling like this person's manipulating you, this person you can't trust them, if that's fueling fear and paranoia in you, release it, reframe it, try to find solace and comfort and faith and trust in the universe. All say this with me: I am safe. I am divinely guided and protected at all times. I am safe. I am divinely guided and protected at all times. Breathe it in, breathe it out. You know, do protection work if you feel like it, or just knowing that God is always protecting you. Because, yes, this world has a lot of dense energy. The earth is an energy of density, but that doesn't mean that you have to be consumed by it. By overthinking of it, that will consume you. Because, like I said, your mind is your reality. So you can either choose to live in your mind, or you can choose into live into the real reality, not the false reality. The false reality is in your mind. You can choose to live in that. Unless you've created a sanctuary in your mind, then I suggest you not live in that and you live into the present moment. Because the past and the present, the past and the future does not exist only through memory of the past and fear or imagination of the future. The present moment is where it's at. The present moment is the heaven on earth. Looking at the little things, going out into nature and seeing the clouds, or even when it's a rainy day, being able to see the beauty in that, hearing the beautiful sound of the water hitting the pavement, hearing the sound of the cars rushing by on the road with that whooshing sound when it's rain. Like, those are moments of bliss. When you know, when you've had that experience, you've had that experience of heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is when you've elevated your vibration to a place of pure bliss. That's what I'm in seek of. That's what I am in pursuit of: peace, bliss, harmony, compassion, love, ecstasy, those types of energies. Not worry, fear, stress, distrust, paranoia, conspiracy. It's fine to be aware of those things, but if they're fueling fear to you, if they're fueling paranoia to you, then you're fighting for a cause, but you're honestly falling back into the trap of distraction again. You're falling back into the trap of being in density again. If that's your journey and that's your calling, fine. But I'm going to do my activism from a place of peace, from a place of calm, from a place of security. It's okay to feel scared, but don't identify as a fearful person. Reflect on those fears and identify them so that you can detach from them and, like, oh, that's just my fears talking. Oh, that's just my paranoia. Oh, that's just my distrust. And for black people, we have a lot of ancestral traits attached to those. You have to think about, what people went through centuries of oppression. They've been in survival mode all their life. Worst case scenario is part of their natural mental construct. So it's like, as those constructs are being broken down, then you're able to detach from them as you become the observer of self, of the observer of yourself. So I'm just saying all this to say, as things awaken within you, as we collectively awaken, don't let it consume you. Still be in the driver's seat. Don't let energies consume you. Don't let thoughts consume you. Don't let emotions consume you. Don't let feelings consume you unless they're consuming you in a way of positivity, consuming you in a way of love, light, and healing energy, concealing you in positivity, peace, things that will actually serve you and your highest self, your highest good. This dense stuff, that's not ever going to serve you. So just keep that in mind as we collectively waken and as the energies continue to shift. That will keep you centered and that will keep you grounded, and that'll be able to lasso you back to yourself. Whenever you feel like you floating away and losing yourself again, click, remember, oh, okay, what is this? What could this be? All right, it's not me though. I'm loving light, baby. That's it. Yes, I have human experiences, but do I choose to identify with the human experiences? No. Do I choose to identify with the human feelings? No. Do I choose to identify with the human emotions? No. Do I choose to identify with the human thoughts? No. You're allowed to feel, think, have any emotion that you want, have any thought that you want, but just observe them from a non judgmental, non shameful, non guilty perspective. Look at them like clouds in the sky or waves in the ocean. Just let them come and go. Feel them, reflect on them, release them. And that's all I have to say right now because, I feel like we're going through an awakening of manipulation and awakening of the demonization of spirituality and, spiritual practices and metaphysical practices and we're awakening to the distrust that our egos have and the paranoia that our egos have and all of these other dense feelings. So as you're maneuvering through these feelings, reflect on them. Think about what in your childhood could have brought these. Think about what in your ancestral traits could have brought these. Release these, knowing that they are not you, that they do not define you, and free yourself from that density. Free yourself. Transmute that negative energy so that you can transcend past the paranoia, transcend past the distrust, transcend past the um, guilt and shame for your spiritual practices, for your belief systems. But I'll wrap it up, and as always, sending you love, light, and healing energy. Be open to receiving it. Peace, love, and light. My solution seeker, someone who cares, a spiritual activist. I love you guys. Peace out. All right, guys. Grand Rising. Good morning, my solution seekers. It's me, your girl, the spiritual activist. And on today's episode, I wanted to get into spiritual and energetic protection. I do feel like with faith and knowing that you're always divinely guided and protected, that you are safe, something that you should be aware of on this spiritual awakening journey, because a lot of times fear is our ultimate culprit, but fear is an illusion because no energy is greater than yours. No force can get into you. No one can get to source without your free will, without your permission. Energies can try to penetrate your system only if you allow it, though. So, but there are some things that you can do if you feel like you need reinforcement, so to speak. So you can use powerful words. So when you're feeling the energy of self-sabotage or your mind may be playing tricks on you, say you're feeling chaotic, you can use like I am peace. That I am carries energy, and the word peace carries an energy if you allow it to carry energy and a positive power. So creating power words that you use to gain power in a situation that could feel where you're losing control. Number two is breathing your power. So breath work is very essential. It's one of the fastest ways to alchemize or shift the energy within you. So when you're feeling, like anxiety or anxious or panicky, you can do there's different types of breathing. Like you got 4-4-4, which is called like water breathing. So in for 4, hold for 4, and out for 4. Or you can just be simple and as you take a deep belly breathe, your belly is expanding like a balloon. You breathe in with the intentions of breathing in love, light, heavenly light or cosmic light. And as you release, you're breathing out with the intentions in your mind of negative energy. You visualize the negative energy leaving your body, visualizing the positive energy coming into your body. So you can change the ins and the outs. So it can be breathe in love, breathe out hate, or inhale peace, exhale chaos, inhale tranquility, compassion, exhale resentment. You see what I'm saying? So number three is seal off your spiritual energy field. So you can imagine like a giant, clear, flexible, impenetrable bubble with connection to the universe. This part is optional. Like the bubble can just be sealed shut, or it can be, have an opening that connects you to the energetic flow of energy, the cosmic energy entering, like creating this sacred space. You can also visualize someone that you feel protected with, like in a spiritual person, someone who has transitioned, who you love and feel protected with, a deity, if you believe in that, can be in there with you. You can visualize if you have fear for your children or family, you can visualize yourself protecting them, and they're in a bubble. Um, and the thing is, you can change the colors of the bubble. It doesn't have to be clear. The colors can represent different elements or your intentions, like pink for self love, purple for divine consciousness, white or something, golden for cosmic energy or um, God, heavenly energy, just different holy energy. Green for the heart chakra, or pink for the heart chakra, just different things that you want to envision or visualize, because visualization is a very powerful tool in manifesting and uh, creating the reality, because it's how the mind actually creates reality. The mind doesn't really speak words or stuff like that. It speaks visualization. So as long as you visualize it and you have the belief, you have to believe it, because what you believe becomes your reality. So whatever you believe or whatever you give power to will come. So if you believe someone can even penetrate your system to begin with, then you're already like wavering. So, working on that as your foundation, that no one can enter your body, no one can enter your energy field, no one can tap into your source or your energy without your permission, without you giving them that power. Number four is you can visualize a hooded cloak of protection. So like, with the hood, and you can visualize this when you're going out. If you don't want to wear a cap, us girls, we get our hat and we don't want to put no hoodie on or a cap over it or whatever. So you can visualize this cloak, full body, over your head down to the floor, as you walk out. You can visualize this on your children or other people as well. If they're not able to do it for themselves, and just set clear intentions that no outside forces or energies can penetrate your body. And like I said, everything is about how you feel. If you feel good as you are and you feel like you don't need any of this stuff because you are protected, then that belief is strong enough, that intention is strong enough. But if you feel like you do need something to give you some form of reassurance, and it doesn't create more anxiety or more fear, then you should, feel free to try any or all, any of these methods. Are all, like I said, I'm not, it's always my duty to mention that I'm not prescribing anything, or like shoulds or shouldn'ts or rights or wrongs or a cure all. Everything I say is my perspective and suggestive. It's never this is a end all be all, this is it. No. In life, it's all about being open minded, and change being a constant. So moving forward to number five, nature. Nature is like the ultimate healer. So, you can go by the sea, any natural body of water, lake, pond, whatever. You can ground in nature. You can do what's called earthing, where you're barefoot on some form of natural surface, not like, man-made, or, something that has more impurities in it. But, the gravel, the sand, the grass, and you can envision roots growing from the sole of your feet to the core of the earth, and having this transference of energy, like all of the positive and negative energy going into earth, Mother Earth, and then Mother Earth's giving you back her healing energy to flow back through your feet, circulating like around your body, your whole entire energetic system, your aura, you know cleansing, energizing, and restoring you. You can also say a prayer to thank Mother Earth. Um, you can power up your. This is basically like rejuvenating and powering up your field, your aura. Like I was saying, creating this um, intensified bubble. Is reinforcing that bubble that you were envisioning earlier. Number six is cleansing. You can use like spiritual baths. Since the dawn of time, spiritual baths have been used for all different types of reasons, intentions, womb healing, but it can also be used for protection and cleansing. And you can add all kinds of things to it. There's no right or wrong. It can be as simple or as complex as you want it. Epsom salts, crystals, sound bowls, music, candles, oils, and the intention is to let go of all the negativity that you're holding to create a protective layer that the water holds the memory of the words that you speak into it. So as those that water is seeping into your pores, into your DNA, into your molecules, it is in your bloodstream. It is encapsulating you from the outside and from the inside. So you're protected through in and throughout. And you can call on your spirit team if you believe in that, or or the universe or what have you. You can ask your spirit guides to guide you in cleansing and to help you release um anything that you may have been holding on to that may be roadblocks into your journey. And so number 7 would be um like, if you believe in angels, archangels, you can ask for heavenly protection. You can call in people who you believe in, or ascended, benevolent, masterful people who are you consider your angels, your ancestors, on who you feel like has elevated, who could bring um comfort and protection to you. Research your own ancestors and your own deities and angels who you feel like resonate with you. It doesn't have to be a certain person who has been prescribed to you. You can reevaluate and reassess who you feel like are angels to you, because angels are ultimately people who once walked this earth, who have ascended to a point of extreme vibration, and they have a certain level within um, this other dimensions or whatever. They just have ascended to a place of where they have a very good bird's eye view of the grand scheme of things. Number 8 is love, gratitude. Those energies align you with high vibration, period. Love conquers all. I will never stop stressing how much embracing love, kindness, and compassion will align you with positivity. You can fight any darkness with light. Light is going to win every time. So kill them with kindness. It doesn't mean subject yourself to abuse. Establish your boundaries, but it's still all about being true to who you are. And the only thing you are is not all the labels of roles and stuff that you have been given, but it's love, light, healing energy. That's you. That is in essence. We are all God's children, and we are um, incarnated of Him. I mean, I don't really like to say Him or her, but by default and by habit, I do say Him a lot. But God, Creator, is in essence in us. So it's almighty love light. And so that is you. When you think of that and when you embody that and you know that nothing can penetrate that light, nothing can alter that, because that in essence is your source, is your core, then that creates this superpower of protection over you. And so just carrying that belief with you and that knowing with you is in itself protection. And it deflects negativity. It provides a protection over your aura, which is kind of like the energy field that expands out towards you. Different people have different size auras, and it's kind of like just this invisible energy field that's around you, and everything has an aura. All energies have some kind of auric energy around them. And so as humans, we do too. So, but, grounding in love and gratitude, you can use certain crystals that bring in love, rose quartz and dried rose, period, infusing baths with that because it's the highest vibration of the flower. And then using rose quartz crystals, working with those, meditating with those. With your heart center, using green crystals, because I know that, green is with the chakra system. So whatever you feel like, just look up stuff with the heart chakra, with love, um, to kind of ground in those types of energies. And so yeah, that's kind of wrapping up some spiritual energetic protection. I got a this just reaffirmed and confirmed some things that I had already been practicing, but the breakdown I did get from a blog. I will try to link the blog below so I can, let you guys read it if you're better with reading. But each one teach one. Spirit, there is no such thing as copying this type of information, because it was never ours to have. Like, the thing in this world we have to understand and remember is that nothing is ever owned. Everything is borrowed. No one can copy you or be you because no one is you. But this information is not ours to always monetize and claim ownership of it. It's ours to share and spread, because if the intention is to heal and uplift and inspire, then why would it be necessary for me to keep this stuff um, to myself? you know. So, but yeah, I will try to link it below just to show you guys. But yeah, so if you please like, share, whatever. I don't know if you can comment on this platform. I'm new to it. I'm just kind of posting stuff because I've been sitting on this information for too long, and my fears have been holding me back for too long. But not anymore. I'm confident that I know my stuff, and I'm no longer relying on other people to influence me. I'm taking steps to stand in my own power, knowing that I have what it takes to help my people and my community to victory, into a spiritually centered lifestyle, which to me has totally shifted and changed and saved my life. But as always, peace, love, and light, my solution seekers, as always, someone who cares, a spiritual activist. Love you guys. Peace out. Rise and shine your light and opulence, my solution seekers. I wanted to talk about the power of prayer. With the spirituality or the spiritual journey starting a trend, there's a lot of talk about the power of intentions. But I want to get back to the roots of what I feel like is part of, the black culture, which is prayer and that faith in God and having him, having God walk with you in every step of your life. And I feel like prayer is very powerful. It's very healing because it has a foundation of faith. And I've seen it work in my life. Prayer is honestly what I feel like got me out of the dark space I was in and the psychic attacks that I was going through, the almost losing myself in the abyss of the mind. The prayer and the love and the faith that my family had constantly is what pulled me out of that. And I've seen it as well with other things that I try to cultivate and manifest in my life. When I put prayer behind it, I see it come to fruition. When I did my other video on, I believe, unconditional bonding, it was one of those motherhood videos, but I talked about how, when I got the rose quartz and clear quartz and selenite, and I put intentions behind the candles. When I use intentions, I mean prayers. And so I prayed to God and just asked for, a way for my family to be and what I want and what I desire. And I feel like I got those things because God does hear your prayers. And God will give it to you when you're doing the work and when you're surrendering to that faith and trusting in divine time. And, like they say, he may not come when you want, but he's always on time. And that is so true. Me and my boyfriend have said that many of times, like moments when, we didn't know how we were going to do something, make something financially. And then, the money comes. And instead of being like, here's an example of reframing. You ever got some money, like a stimulus or income tax, and you're like, dang, every time I get my income tax, something come up. This part of my car broke down. Now I got to use that money to fix that. Or now my tooth, I got to go get this, didn't work. And you're like, golly, man, as soon as I get money, I can't do no with it. That's one way to look at it. That's going to fuel nothing but negativity and steer you away from the energy, the alignment of gratitude, which will continue to bring you more abundance. But if you reframe that thought, here's another way, a whole new way to look at it. God, I thank you for allowing me to have this money so that I was capable and able to pay for the things that I need. Sometimes the things we want are not a necessity. And sometimes the things we need are what are more dire, like you need them, it needs to be taken care of. And that money came at the right time for that purpose. It may not be always what you want, but a lot of times the things we need are not always what we want. And that's just life. But you see how easily you reframe that, and now there's more gratitude in that. And now that gratitude puts you in the energy of more positive energy, more love, more faith, more abundance. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of get on the power of prayer. Prayer should be in everything you do. In my house, I have like a written prayer kind of where I write down all of my intentions for the family, for, the energy I want to cultivate at all times, the things I pray over, the food, like the products we use, that they are cleansed of any negative, dense, or unwanted energies, and I leave it the rest to God. Like, I set that out, and I'm done. Like, I have the faith that was meant to happen going to happen. Like, we're protected. You have to continuously tell yourself, I am safe, I am protected, and just have that faith. The belief and faith. I heard like an advertisement on the radio today, and it was talking about the movie Jingle Jangle. If you haven't seen it, you should. It really does talk about the power of belief, and that all goes hand in hand with faith and prayer. All of these energies are the energies you should be focusing on, not the negative ones. Don't get sucked into the trap of this world. Like I said, spirituality is more about reframing your mindset and your perspective on life to be more positive and rational and healing. But yeah, I want to end that off and just say, as always, someone who cares, the spiritual activist, peace, love, light, and healing energies. Be open to receiving it. Keep God first. I love you guys. Peace out. Grand rising, all of my solution seekers. I want to talk this. I don't know how long this episode's going to be because I have a little bit of information. I'm going to try to do it as organized as I can, but y'all know I'm very like freestyle. I just kind of, as I feel something, as I'm moved, I kind of just make videos based on that. And I'm trying to get more and more organized with how I do content, but it's a process. So I'm learning, but, I'll go into what motivated this this episode. So bear with me while I find my note. And the first part of this is going to be recorded. So, I'm sorry, not recorded, but I'm going to be reading it from something that I wrote in like a diary entry. So I'm giving y'all sneak peek to some of the things that I write in my like diary as I'm reflecting on life and stuff like that. So here goes. After deleting I'm just going to say, very popular social platform, and getting out of the brain fog of this virtual reality, I realized that we don't need all the things that are being marketed for spirituality. I realized I was making common mistakes because I was lying to myself about what I wanted and why I wanted it. We all want a better future and to know our purpose and to find ourselves, but at what cost? Do we know if we'll ever get there at the end of this journey like these teachers and readers keep promising us? The manipulation of our vulnerability and vacant esteem is a true testament to this capitalistic and consumeristic society. I don't know if I just made those words up. The majority doesn't put holistic wellness above a buck. So I ask you, what are you willing to pay for a distant dream? They selling wolf tickets, or at least I never really saw any real reward. I was in this dark limbo of feeling these highs and these extreme lows. I was in a fantasy out of connection with reality. At this point, I don't know what I believe totally. So I had to go back to my roots and reestablish my foundation again. The only thing I know is that the foundation of spirituality needs no modality or healing method. We just jump and binge these practices because the information and technology age, along with the ego's need to know everything, has made us impatient and unrealistic about what they mean when they say it's a journey, not a destination. This is not a game, and you will get got trying to make it one. At the end of the day, all we want is success, mental wellness, unconditional love, and confidence, being our authentic selves. And I feel this journey is ultimately about finding what that may look like for you and knowing that you always have options. When you alter your rigid beliefs, knowing it's really just a bunch of thoughts, and a thought can be changed, then you wake up to the idea that everything has flexibility and it's not so black and white. It's not an end all be all. You always have a choice. Life is about this balance of scales in all aspects of life, in diet, fitness, family, career, mental processes, emotions, and ultimately it's all spiritual. Being yourself. This is the age of DIY for me, because honestly, everyone is not in integrity, unfortunately. And it's the ability to discern when you are unfamiliar with what's your intuition and what's your fears, distrust and paranoia. And honestly, I don't know what my intuition is, and I'm done pretending like I do, because the spiritual movement says, oh, you should know, you'll know those voice and that voice. No one's teaching you how to understand your intuition. No one's teaching you how to sit with your spirit to understand this. So it's like we're in the dark. So better safe than sorry. Even the ones posing as advocates of the community can be compromised. The wolf can be in many clothings, not just sheep, but cow, chicken, duck, etc. I'm saying this to say that there is a demand to control people of all walks of life. So there's a demand for influencers of all walks of life. Don't be fooled by what you think is resonating with your soul, when really it's your superficiality, or just like what you see with your eyes appealing to you. You know, basically that influencer or that intuitive reader or that teacher, you like the way they look, you like the way they act. So you thinking you get everything they're saying is resonating with you, when really it's just you liking them and who they are is really what's taking over on you. These influencers that you think is resonating with your soul, their lives may be staged to appeal to you. What your eyes see is not always reality or true. I was in a total mind FUCK this last year. Yes, I had issues in my life, as we all do, but I was going about them unrealistically and uncontrollably. For me, I have to stop buying. I stopped buying pre-made products like, these womb healing things, these oils, these candles, these all these things, to say, not because I'm paranoid, but just being mindful that you don't know what intentions were put behind them. Stop invoking these spirits. Stop doing magic. Stop doing altar work if you really don't know what you're doing. I've been researching because I've been in the field. I've been exposing myself to it, and it gets real. And no one is really teaching. They're keeping you in the dark, yet pushing you to walk. Those are huge red flags and should be considered when embarking on your spiritual journey, seeking your answers from outside sources. The manipulation for financial gain is real. Surrendering your free will? Keep God and your family as your number one priority, because in these streets it gets ruthless and ugly, and that's really all we have. This is my personal experience and what I've learned along the way for me. Don't overconsume a personal spiritual beliefs because you're trying to ascend in a week, get money or whatever, but saying this is for a holy reason. Get real with your intentions. When you don't have pure, honest intentions, you'll get burned. I'm telling you. I've encountered so much in this past week. Be mindful of the subliminal messages designed to F with your psyche. And P.S., everything may be a sign, but don't fuel your anxiety, overthinking, obsessive thoughts, and egos need to know everything by thinking this quote unquote spirit is talking to you every second. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I don't know all that. But what I do know is all it did for me was fuel my compulsive mind. And for a person who has like a very overactive mind like me, I'm warning you, don't get sucked into all the synchronicities, waiting for 11:11, waiting for this sign, waiting for this bird to land on you. All this stuff is just going to cloud your mind when you're trying to get peace of mind. Your intentions and beliefs and thoughts create the reality. You believe it, it will seem that way. The validity is still up for debate, but not by me. I know that I have more peace now that I've released that need to know everything and have all the signs and have all the knowing on this journey. I have faith in God. That's all I really need. What sparked my spiritual awakening was a combination of a midlife crisis, losing myself in motherhood, maternal burnout, being laid off, and figuring out what my purpose was, and not necessarily finding myself. I have my own take on that, but being confident in just showing myself to the world, my authentic self. I was used as a pawn, I feel, preyed upon in the grand scheme of things. This spiritual movement trend has made spirituality an unsafe space for newcomers. It's a lot of people stuck in shadow world because people are opening up the way and not guiding them right because they're using them to serve their own personal gain, whether financially, energetically, spiritually, whatever. And honestly, I feel like Black people, Black families, our culture is under an attack. And this is not to invoke some kind of fear, but it's like just being mindful that stop letting people define you. When I say under attack, I just mean like psychologically you can get manipulated. Spiritually, you can get further oppressed, which is counterproductive of what you're trying to do by going through the healing journey. We've labeled everything. And so with all these labels and diagnoses, you lose the true root of it. Like it may be called spiritual awakening, but in that you lose the sight of what is the real problem, what sparked it. We're so focused on going on a spiritual journey that we don't realize what sparked the spiritual journey is usually what you need to focus on. That's the real problem. That's the real issue that you need to work on. Me having maternal burnout, me having a midlife crisis, and me not communicating how I felt because I was so fearful of reactions from, my partner, my family, my friends, instead of just releasing those fears and just keeping it real. At the end of the day, it's all about these honest, open conversations and being vulnerable to, how you feel and what you're going through. And believe it or not, when you start opening up, watch what I tell you. Everybody else is going to feel comfortable to open up too. I'm dismantling the guilt and shame and embarrassment around mental health, emotional instability, spiritual dependency, all of these things that we go through, that we label, it gets lost in the sauce. But I think I'm going to end this little segment and I'm going to create another video based on some more specific ways that I feel like people, like it's kind of like common mistakes that people make when they embark on a spiritual journey. So I'm going to end this one, guys. And then, I'll have another segment attached to this episode and label it common mistakes. But this one is more like spiritual manipulation and how I feel like this is the DIY age. We need to start making our own. I know we want to be lazy, but if you're going to buy pre-made stuff to help you along the way in your spiritual journey, at least pray over it and, release any intentions that you did not sign up for. If you know why you're buying it and what you're looking for to get out of something, pray over it and ask that only what you are asking for is received and everything else is not. Ask God to continue to watch over everything in your home, stay prayed up. But me, I'm going to start buying my own stuff, my own yoni steams. I'm going to buy my own herbs for this, for that. Buying these pre-rolls with herbs in them. You don't know what intentions have been over these herbs. You don't really know what's into anything. And this is not to invoke skepticism, paranoia, or anything. It's just being real. Like, yes, we want to wish and believe that everybody has good intentions, but they don't. And people are getting sucked into realities and that are of evil intentions, that are of personal gain, or we don't know what intentions people have. And when you're led by money and the almighty dollar, it's good to have money. Yes, I'm not saying nothing against it, but sometimes money can cloud people's intentions and it can make them sell out. Like, don't lose sight of God in anything. And don't get sucked into the consumerism and the capitalistic society that we have. And please do not go looking for spiritual guidance on social media. Because I'm telling you right now, it's very, very compromised. Technology is so manipulative. They have technology where they can make recordings. You can take people's faces and create a video and make it seem like it's coming from that person, but really the message is coming from someone else. But you see the person who you think it's coming from, but it's not that person. Technology has so many manipulative ways, so it's like being mindful of all these things. It's not about fear. It's just about, like what I always say, one of my mottos: stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Awareness is the healing. And I'm going to get into that in my next video. But, as always, guys, someone who cares, the spiritual activist, peace, love, light, and healing energies. Be open to receiving. Keep God first. Love you guys. Peace out.